by reducing the amount of anesthesia they give to patients. For real, you wheel them there for an appendectomy or any kind of medical procedure, and you're really going to suffer because the climate god demands it. How far are we from like the Mayan or Aztec system? Not as far as we think. As one physician in that system put it, quote, "For a long time, there was a notion that the greenhouse effect caused in healthcare settings was an inevitable and unavoidable cost of providing patient care. But we have learned that reducing anesthetic gas flow is one of the many ways healthcare can lessen its contribution to the global warming crisis." Think about that for a second. If you're trying to reduce your carbon footprint, if you really believe carbon was the main poison in our environment, which of course is not, but if you thought it was, getting rid of anesthesia or reducing the amount of painkillers you give to people while cutting them with scalpels would probably be the last thing you would do. A decade ago, researchers in Germany suggested that reducing the amount of anesthesia given to patients would lower greenhouse gas emissions and protect the ozone layer. So that was 10 years ago. And at the time, the idea didn't catch on right away because it's insane and it dramatically increases human suffering, which we try to reduce because this is civilization after all. But as civilization recedes 10 years later, hospitals in the US are suddenly deciding, wow, that's a great idea. Make people suffer more, atone for their climate sins? We're on board. So the question is, again, referring back to the primitive religions that dominated this earth until pretty recently, the Mayas, the Aztecs, and every other human sacrifice-oriented religion, how long until these hospitals decide that the best way to reduce their carbon footprint is to make their patients go to sleep permanently? That's happening in Canada. The government of Canada has killed thousands and thousands of its own citizens, thousands of them. Was carbon footprints of those people part of it? I don't know. But in the end, false religions wind up killing people.